Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. So we're going to start this video off wrapping up the Yamamoto Pro France, and this show was actually won by Patrick Johnson. Now I believe Patrick did come in more conditioned than last week, but he did lose a little bit of size. Now going into this show, we all had him as the favorite because Patrick placed second at the Arnold Classic UK, Marc Hector took fifth, and Jamie the Giant took sixth. But from what I've heard, he's only been working with Coach Abdullah for a year, and they've made some crazy improvements. Also, Patrick has been working with Brandon Curry, who is also coached by him. Those guys have been getting a lot of training, and I think that will really help him going into the future. Overall, I think Patrick just needs a little bit more size. Seems like he doesn't have a problem with coming in condition, and he definitely has to bring the back up. But Patrick is headed to this year's Mr. Olympia. No one was talking about this guy pretty much going into the Arnold Classic UK, and he just got a qualification for this year's Olympia at France. Congratulations to him. Now switching over to Marc Hector, who took second place at this show. Now as I mentioned in my prejudging video, Marc Hector did come in watery, but the more that he posed, he seemed to get drier and drier. Now keep in mind, Marc has been away from the stage, I believe, for 2 years, and this is only his second show back. I do believe he was better here than at the Arnold Classic UK. I think Marc is probably a guy that gets better as he competes, and he did say he plans to continue competing. Not 100% sure which shows he's going to hop in, probably going to be some shows over there in Europe, but we do have the Legion Sports Fest over here next week. Who knows, he may come over here and decide to do a show. But I still think this was a great showing for him. I do think a few people hyped him up a little bit too much, saying he was Brandon Curry 2.0. I think a lot of people were basically expecting a 5'10" Brandon. Marc Hector definitely has great potential, but still has a few things he needs to bring up. Now in third place was actually Jamie the Giant Johal. Now to me personally, this is the best version of Jamie I've ever seen. I've definitely seen him come in more full, but this guy was so shredded, man. When he came out, I was like, is it a possibility that Jamie the Giant can win this show? And once again, it's so impressive seeing a guy that's 6'5", able to stack all this mass on. He's about 300 pounds probably, but he still needs to be about, Jay Cutler said on a recent podcast, he needs to be 350 to be winning shows. But Jamie has been constantly improving, and a lot of guys that are 6'5" probably won't even try to bodybuild. They probably would try to be strongmen. But great showing for Jamie. He should be at Legion next week. And we did have the classic physique division at this Yamamoto France being won by none other than Wesley Vissers. Now, a lot of people felt like he was robbed last week. And I'll say this. I feel like as far as classic judging criteria goes, I think Wesley should have placed at least in second place. But as far as bodybuilding criteria, I could have seen him place in third. But who knows, guys? Classic physique judging is always up and down. But Wesley looked incredible here, and he's going to the Mr. Olympia. Wesley's so classic, man. Reminds me a lot of Arnold when he hits a lot of these shots. And Christian Zagarello, who actually placed ahead of him last week, was in this same show, and he took second to Wesley Vissers here. And switching over to some recent bodybuilding news, this update excited me so much, I just had to combine it with the Yamamoto wrap-up. Samson Dauda is looking unbelievable at 11 weeks out from this year's Mr. Olympia. You guys let me know in the comment section below. How high can Samson place at this year's Olympia, Can Heidi Chupin beat this physique? Hunter Labrada, Nick Walker. How many guys can beat this physique of Samson Dauda? And honestly, when we take a look at this side chest, I honestly believe this is one of the most competitive side chests we have in the division right now. Samson is just so 3D bubbly, but I wonder, is he going to be able to get those striations in the glutes this time around? Now, going into this year's Olympia, one of the most competitive ever, is Samson going to bump somebody out of this top 6, man? Even the back has came up. Samson does seem like he needs to bring up the teres muscles, and those are usually very strong for bodybuilders. They usually lack in the lower lats, but Samson's lower lats are just unbelievable. But going into this year's Mr. Olympia, I believe Samson is a serious threat for their top 5, man. He's looking better and better. The question is Samson going to be able to nail his conditioning? And keep in mind, Samson is the best poser we have in men's open bodybuilding. At the Arnold Classic, he mixed Sean Ray, Kevin LeVron, and Flex Wheeler posing styles. And I believe Samson's posing along with his physique will carry him a long way at this year's Olympia. Now switching over to Tonio Burton, a guy we haven't really talked about in a while. Tonio will be competing in the Legion Sports Fest next week. Now it has been rumored that Justin Rodriguez is probably going to do this show. We aren't 100% confirmed. So that could be between Tonio and Justin Rodriguez. But once again, any of these guys from the UK could come over here and hop into a show. Now Tonio looks incredible. He always brags about how he doesn't train abs. Tonio, I think you should start training abs. And I think he should get with a better posing coach. If Tonio improves his posing, brings up the abs a little bit, I think he's going to be an incredible competitor. This guy has great symmetry and balance. Now switching over to Nathan Epler. And I noticed that even though Nathan Epler is adding size and moving up to open, Seems like he's keeping some great condition as well as his small waist, but I wonder, is he going to have a problem putting on mass in the future? Now, I really like Nathan's structure, and I'm excited to see him hop on an open class bodybuilding stage. Hopefully he competes next year, but it is possible he takes a full year off just to grow into this class, because I'm pretty sure that Nathan wants to be competitive in this division and not just be a second or third call out guy because he's lacking size. Now, switching over to Michaela Aycock. In my last video, a couple people wanted me to start mentioning some female bodybuilders, so here's one of my favorites. Michaela is a women's bodybuilding competitor, and she is 5 weeks out from the Rising Phoenix. Now, Michaela actually won the Atlanta Pro earlier this year, and that was impressive because she actually came off 2 hernia surgeries, only did a 12-week prep, and she's also one of the most conditioned athletes in the IFBB as a whole. And can you guys believe it, she actually coaches herself. Now, ending this video here with the archive of the day, you guys let me know in the comment section below which 2 legendary bodybuilders are these, and even better if you guys can name the show. As always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Once again, Patrick Johnson has won the Yamamoto Cup, Wesley Vissers wins Classic, and Samson Dauda is looking like he can challenge Big Ramy for the Olympia title this year. I'm Krishan from GOAT Fitness, and I'm out.